Welcome back to the INVICTUS stream. My name, as always, is Mr. Harlan Guthrie, and I am here with the lovely, the sexy Mr. Bob Lyall. The one and only Mr. Alex Guthrie.
Hi.
And my favorite gal, Ms. Joe Fallak. And we are here tonight with The Strange, Chapter 5.
Whoa, you forgot something.
What?
What about our excellent host here, Harlan Guthrie? Let's all give him a hand. Give him a round of applause, please, everybody. Yeah.
You know, you didn't have to hit the crickets.
He's
that
still
was just
great.
rude. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Strange Beyond. This is Chapter 5. We have been doing 4 previous weeks of this amazing game by Monte Cook Games, and we're having a blast doing it. Thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight. Or coming by, I should say. Joe did get a haircut, yes, for those people. She cut her bangs. Those are the bangs. Bang, bang, bang.
It's very reminiscent of a Feng Shui campaign.
That's right, except your hair was shorter.
I had like a very short little mini bob.
Speaking of mini bops, get ready to bop along to tonight's game. We're going to have a lot of fun segues.
Bob along with Bob.
Bob along with Bob and Charlemagne and Miraz. That's right. If you are not familiar with The Strange, that's okay. It's a game we're playing pretty loosely anyway. You can find it on Monte Cook's Games website. I'm sure it's montecookgames.com. It's a game using the Cypher system, which has since gone on to create a rulebook called the Cypher system. So you don't actually have to use the Strange rulebook if you don't want to. It's not amazing anyway. Yeah, shots fired. Tonight, we are going to be returning to the world, the ice planet of Crichton. Don't worry, we're going to get off it real quick. Because the actual runtime of these streams has been shortened, I realize that the episodes that I write are sort of, typically we'd be at episode 3 right now, whereas we're starting at 5. So I'm writing them a bit chunkier than I usually do. So maybe this campaign will just go longer than 10 episodes, maybe 20 episodes. We'll see. Before we get into the game, though, I want to make a quick announcement. We have updated, I would say maybe even borderline overhauled, our Patreon for Invictus and Dice Shame.
It's bigger and better, folks.
What does that mean? It means that we have more tiers, more options for them, and more ways to say thank you. And I want to take a second really quick and thank a few people and also sort of detail what you get. So for a while now we've been doing Patreon, and we are so lucky and thankful for all the people who have backed us. It is something that we never expected to be so warmly and received and appreciated. It has made it possible for us to make Dice Shame, and that is absolutely true. I know some people, when I say that, they're like, yeah, I'm sure you would have done it. No, Dice Shame would not exist without Patreon. There's just no way we could afford all the mics, getting together, and the time. The hosting fees for the podcast, everything that Patreon has given us made Dice Shame possible. So first off, thank you to everybody who has backed us. Beyond that, we have, recognize that there's more that people want to give, more that people want from things, and many things over the years that we've sort of talked about doing and finally have implemented over the past little while that we wanted to assign to tiers. So I'm going to go through them real quick because I think it's important. First off, Broodling is the $3 level. This is just a way to say thank you. At that, you get access to our Minecraft server. You get access to all the posts and polls that are written for you, as well as your name is added to the wall of shame on our website, diceshamepodcast.com. This is where you are credited as someone who is to be thanked for making all this possible. At the next tier, you get access, this is $5, to our Patreon-only podcast. This is a short-form mini-sode podcast called Malevolent that exists in the world of Invictus's Call of Cthulhu. I say Invictus's because it's not per se Lovecraftian, but it is a string connecting all of our campaigns, including this one, whether it be Numenera, Call of Cthulhu, even a little bit of Age of Rebellion. All of our games have had a thin fishing line connecting them. Some people call this INVICTUS lore. I call this Harlan's meandering mind.
I was going to say, the podcast is like looking into Harlan's ear hole and seeing what's inside.
For real. It is really exciting. I've talked about these things for a long time. Malevolent is the place where I get to have a no-holds-bar connection where, oh, I recognize this name and this name and this name, and it will all come to head as the episodes and chapters continue. This is now something that is available to all people who back us for $5 or more. It was originally for $10 or more, but we realized that as much as we want to appreciate the people who have backed us more, we also want to appreciate everybody. So just recently we've changed it. So if you back us for $5 or more, you now have access to all of that as well. That being said, if you are at the undefeated tier, which is $10 or more, you still make all the decisions on the podcast. That's right. This mini-sode podcast that is the lore of Invictus ends every episode with a choice. Some of them are a little simple, like do you want to go to the library or the bookstore? Some of them are a lot more important. Do you kill this character or do you let them live? Some of them are to dealing with sanity. Do you take the risk of reading this tome, or do you not learn the information that could be important to finding out what's wrong? There's a lot of amazing choices that you can make in this podcast, and at the $10 and tier you get that, along with all the private videos that we've made and will ever make. And one of the new features that we're really excited about is being gussied up as an artisan. Joe, do you want to talk real quick about what that is at the $10?
I would love to, yes. As you well know, if you are a listener of Dice Shame, we come across a lot of loot, or the boys do rather, in their travels. Some of it is mundane, like maybe you found a really cool oil painting when you killed a giant and it was just hanging out in his backpack. And we have a specific character named Jack who really likes to know all of the history of all of the items that he picks up on their travels. We thought it would be kind of cool to bake in some Patreon supporters as the artisans of the loot that is found. So from here on forward, I guess we have a couple of episodes in the can right now that we have to chew through first. But moving forward in our recording sessions, I'm going to be choosing from our undefeated $10 and up tiers to find some names for artisans. I'm going to turn them into like, D&D names.
Yeah, they're going to be fantasyized, i.e. Harlan Guthrie is Harlando Guthrino or something like that.
Oh,
so
that's
it's not
very
going to be
fantasy.
your exact name. But yeah, you get that at the $10 tier. We now have a new tier, $25. This is the Shamers. These are the people who really enjoy Dice Shame and really enjoy what we do. You get everything above. Plus, at the end of every episode of Dice Shame, your name will be read and thanked. So we already have 2 people that fall into this tier, or the higher tier, I should say, and they will have their names read going forward. And I'm going to mention them at the end of this because they also deserve to have their name read on the Wednesday stream. But that is something that you get as a thank you. You also get a personalized recording from your favorite Dice Shame character. Obviously, it's going to be read. No one wants Doran to read off anything from them. Sorry, Doran.
What's that? Oh,
Just doing his own
hold on.
shit.
He wants to say something.
Yeah, you could tell them all to just go to hell.
You know what, Doran? That's really not very.
Yeah, well, it doesn't really matter what you say anyway.
You know what? He's not really nice when he's not on the stream. This little fucker. Yeah. I call.
Yeah, don't even call me that fucker. That's not nice of you.
You know what? I much prefer when he's acting. Sorry. Yeah, go back to your hole. Okay, bye.
So, and you also, great job, Alex, by the way. Fuck you. And you also get your name featured in an episode of Malevolent. Whether it be a store or an NPC, your name is going to be read in that mini-sode. Finally, for the people who really want to just hit it out of the park and have a real fun time.
These are the big dogs.
I mean, these are the people that make this possible to do long-term. The great old ones deserves that sound effect. The great old ones, everything that we've already talked about. You also get a personalized video by Joe and myself, a guaranteed seat at any Invictus Con table, as well as, and I wrote this in sort of the description at the tier, but didn't detail it in the bullet point, but as well as any convention that we play in real life, you will have the first information possible. Meaning if there's a chance for you to sit down at a table with us, we will tell you the day you can buy the tickets, the price of them, what game you'll be playing. Basically, the most information we can possibly give you, more than anybody else, to say, hey, you can be
Here's how to
playing
hang
with us.
out with
Exactly.
us.
And if it's not a game, we'll just tell you where we're going to meet up and we'll meet you in person as well. So you kind of get VIP treatment when it comes to meeting up. Because frankly, if you're backing us for this at this level, you deserve VIP treatment. And then finally, one of the things that I'm honestly quite excited about is you get a die used in the podcast Dice Shame, named after you and sent to you when it inevitably fails. That's right. You might notice, if you're a listener of Dice Shame, that we constantly are shaming dice and grabbing new dice. I think on the go right now I have Ash. Chester has failed me for the last time. These names are names we assign to the die sort of at random. Well, not anymore. If you are a patron at the Great Old Ones, you are a die. Next time one of us reaches for a die after we've shamed our previous D20, your name will be that die. We will mention it every time we roll that die, and we will yell at it every time it fails us. And when we decide to shame that die, whether it be myself or Joe the GM, Jack, or I should say Rob, I guess that's his character name, isn't it? What, who is it? We will mail it to you. So not only do you get to hear your name immortalized in Dice Shame Podcast every time we say your name, you can cringe or congratulate yourself, but you're going to get that as a testament and a monument to everything that you got to hear throughout that. And the reason I wanted to talk about Patreon wasn't just that we put our heads together and sort of re-upped it, but I want to say thank you to two of our great old ones, Mr. Kellen Holman and Christopher Ryan Evans. You two have already supported us as great old ones, and I have already sent you requests on which color die you'd like to be named coming up for our podcasts. And it's a really exciting and amazing time. We just want to say thank you. It is.
I'm just curious why you went with the Gary Oldmans. I'm not really sure. I don't get the connection.
The what?
The Gary Oldmans. You said that this level is the Gary Oldmans.
Oh. This guy, what a fucker!
I have two dice right now that are currently unnamed, so we'll see. I don't know, Chris or Kellen, if you're interested in a blue and white or a purple dice.
I'm gonna let them pick the color, and then
we've got quite a few
we'll
just
see.
hanging around.
And then we'll start making T-shirts that say, "I backed Dice Shame, and all I got was this shameful dice."
Lots to. I mean, yeah, why not? There's plenty of options that we can do. So yeah, just wanted to say thank you to all those people. You guys are amazing. Everyone who's backed us, and a special shout out to Kellen and Christopher for just going the extra mile. Speaking of going the extra mile, I want to throw it to Bob real quick to shout out a very special game that's happening this Saturday. Bob, why don't you tell us what's coming on this Saturday?
Oh, thank you very much.
Bob, you're muted.
Gotta do it like a reporter. I gotta throw it over Bob here. He's gonna fill you in.
With the weather, Bob. No, it's still muted.
Still muted.
How about now?
Yeah.
There you go. We're good.
All right. This Saturday, May 9th at 11 a.m. Eastern, Jason Griffin is going to be running a community Star Wars game. I think there's 3 or 4 of us playing that. So it's going to be on Discord video. Stop on by. We'd love to have you, and you get to check out my armor I made out of cardboard because, like I said before we went live, I was bored, very, very bored the past couple weeks. So I took all of Aisha's Sam's boxes and made armor and stuff like that.
What's a Sam's box?
Oh, it's
Sam's Club.
Sam's Club.
Okay.
Oh, it's
like a
grocery
big
chain
store.
or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's awesome, Bob.
So I made Mandalorian armor. It's sitting right here. So
Please
Fuck
take
yeah.
photos for those of us who can't join you. In
Oh
the
yeah,
game.
make
I
sure you
wanna
take
see
full.
that.
I think I saw you posted a full body.
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Really?
that's right.
I just saw the helmet.
Oh yeah, no, you got to do a full body one.
Fucks
Again.
with my news feed. I miss all the good shit.
I know. Stupid Facebook. So there you go. Hangout Saturday. What time does it start?
9 a.m. Eastern.
9
Or
a.m.
11 a.m. Eastern. Sorry.
11 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
It's on Discord video. So could people watch, or is it a private video?
Yeah, it's gonna be recorded. I don't know if it's gonna be live, but it will be recorded.
So regardless, you will be able to see it. So make sure you check
Yeah,
it out.
yeah.
Bob will post a link when it's done. And good luck to Jason and anybody else playing in that game.
May the force be with you.
As
Always.
close as I can get to the Star Wars pop.
It was
Da,
close.
da, da,
It's a pop.
Da, da, da.
All right,
Very
that's
good.
enough of all this stuff. Are we ready to play this game?
Yeah.
Alex wrote a theme for us.
Oh, so prepared. Here we go.
All right, here we go. Ready? Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, The Strange
Dun,
beyond.
dun, 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 dun. If you're ready for action, then join the strange. If you've had too much fun, then join the strange. If you're over the edge, you may be strange. Or sliding down a gravel hill in a sled, then strange. If you've cut off your hand, you may be strange. Or if you dig a hole too deep, you may be strange. Or if you... let's just start the fucking game here. Oh, it's 18 plus, everybody.
Chapter 3.
That was awesome, Alex.
Dalador Bumblescump is dead. Reza Lojak floated down beneath the icy waters of the Lake Dunmara, certain he would die. He was so certain, in fact, that he stopped trying to fight altogether and just succumbed to the overwhelming cold of the lake. As he sunk deeper down into the depths of the lake, the skeletal victims of the lake appeared around him, as if welcoming him to join their eternal slumber. As the light faded from the icy surface above, a familiar voice sounded out before him. I told you, you didn't know what you were in for, Reza. As the light fades, Reza, you are once again standing on the roof of a Chicago apartment building, a familiar scene. One that involved a mysterious character who jumped to his supposed demise, only this time he turns around to face you. With your gun still drawn, he casually steps down and walks towards you. As the rain beats down upon both of you, he pulls a rusted iron chair from a discarded patio set and sits. How are you doing, Officer Lojak?
I've got my gun on him. It's like, get down on the ground, face on the ground.
You don't think you're actually here, do you? He looks around side to side, the droplets of rain seemingly covering your eyes with a mist. It feels like only the 15 feet or so around you can see. Beyond that, it shimmers as if non-existent. Reza, you're still drowning at the bottom of a lake on a planet billions of miles from here.
Who are you?
Who am I is irrelevant to who you are now. He stands up. Reza Lojak, taken from obscurity and put on an interdimensional mission to clear your name. Strange, isn't it? Even for you. Don't you feel out of place with these two? Don't you feel like you should just come home? And the roof melts away, and you're standing in your single one-bedroom Chicago apartment. You see the moonlight shining in through the slotted window blinds. You see the dishes you left in the sink, the place that you last remember before appearing in the interdimensional court. The man casually walks over the counter, runs his fingers along the linoleum surface, picks it up to check the dust, and turns back to you. Want to come home?
Almost defeated. I look down and I say, yeah, I think I do.
The truth is, Reza, I put you here. I knew what would happen and knew what would come next. And I needed you to know exactly what stakes we're playing for before I ask a favor of you. And again, your apartment fades away, and now you see only the light from the ice high above you, the violet moon of Crichton illuminating the surface, what feels like 15 feet above you. You see the skeletal remains floating around you, and yet, rather than just the cold, you see the figure standing in front of you as if irrelevant to the space around him. You can breathe, but you move slow and thick as in the icy cold water. Miraz Brej Ak Ak. She is a being of immense power, though she knowingly hides it. Well, perhaps unknowingly hides it. Despite her demeanor, she holds the key to something very important to me, Reza, something I need. So I will save your life. And in return, you will, in a way, save mine. Their goal, and he points up to shadowy footprints on the ice above you, and subsequent salvation lies with a stone of Bedouin. However, you need to bring her to the realm of Kandar by whatever means you deem necessary. Suddenly you begin to feel a pull of your shirt, Reza, as you rise in the water. He stays put in the darkness, his face being illuminated by that violet moon high above, and he begins to fade as you are pulled up. But before you reach the surface, he says, Reza, your life depends on it. With a smash, you feel the ice crack around you, and a weightlessness that perplexes you. You feel yourself falling through the air before landing in a pile of freezing snow. It plumes around you, and you feel sets of hands lift you out and onto your feet. Standing around you are Charlemagne, Charlie Rabbit, Beatborp, and Miraz, all frantically trying to strip the clothes from you that are ice cold. And you see a large man walking across the ice towards you. From Charlemagne and Miraz's perspective, you saw Reza fall beneath the ice. But before you could react, a tall figure wielding a massive greatsword and a shield strapped to his back strode out onto the ice, unnerved by the explosions, smash the ice with his massive gauntlet of a hand, reach down and throw Reza from the ice into a bank of snow next to you. This man turns around and approaches.
Are we safe right now? Are we off the ice?
Yeah, you're all standing off the ice, sort of frantically patting down Reza. Reza, you're freezing. It's icy cold. You've lost a fair amount of health.
It's going to be all right, Reza. It's going to be all right.
Vomiting up water.
Oh, yeah. Your entire body's in shock. Charlemagne, what are you doing?
I do not understand what has happened here. You went down and this scary figure with a giant sword. He is no match for my army, although I am a little bit. And I look down and my knees are shaking. I am not scared at all. You, and I call out to the large person wielding
He
the sword.
walks unimpeded across the ice. The yup still exploding in the background, 50 feet away. Just boom, boom. This hulking figure doesn't have a face, or at least one that you can see. A large iron helmet covers his face. You only see wisps of what looks like red smoke, maybe, leaking out of the eyes and the mouth of this helm as he walks towards you.
I continue to rub Reza's body, and let me rephrase. I continue to rub his back,
Hello.
his back and his chest, as you would when you're trying to warm somebody up. And I say, put your hands under your arms so that you can keep the warmth against you.
Charlie
Yes,
Rabbit
they
looks
warm.
at you, Charlemagne, says, for fuck's sake, just take this. And he pulls Charlemagne's thick, heavy cloak.
It's like one of those like white speckles, like a snow leopard.
Yeah, it's like a
snow
huge,
leopard
thick
fur.
snow leopard, and just throws it on you.
But I'm going
Reza.
to get cold. I suppose you need it more. Now you, and I point to the man again strolling across the water, and I say, "How are you doing that?" And we do slide and be very careful. And you are walking like a big pompous asshole.
Miraz stands up and puts her bubbly little hand on Charlemagne's shoulder, and she's like, hey, relax, man. It's gonna be just chill. She takes a couple steps forward and then calls out to the man on the ice like, yo, thanks, that was awesome.
You each turn towards this figure. The wind cuts across your face as you see this tall figure with this great sword stop on the edge of the lake, his feet standing on the ground. Explosions eventually die off behind him. Through the wind and clouds for a moment, you see this bright light shining from behind you, and you turn to see that same violet moon casting upon the castle behind you, or the direction you were heading. It stands tall with pointed towers, a Gothic depiction of an ancient home fit for kings and monsters alike. You turn back towards the man, who's just like a half step closer. He's covered in iron armor from head to toe. His shield strapped to his back. You saw from sort of when he was carrying it depicts a wolf devouring a child's head. He just stands there menacingly. You know, that old family
You said
crest.
like red smoke like leaking from the visor of his helmet. It's not at all intimidating.
Oh, he's intimidating.
We're the child eaters.
Not to Miraz, I don't think. She doesn't really get
No,
any
yeah,
of the
to her it's
iconography.
irrelevant. To
She's
her
just
it's-
like,
You're so right.
are you coming? Are you looking for someone? Can we help you? What's going on? Where did you come from anyway?
He extends a large gauntlet and pointed finger. He points it up towards the castle behind you. You only hear the clink of the iron, and it's sort of scraping across the metal of his chest plate. Yeah. He points for a long moment and then drops his hand again.
She just shrugs and is like, all right, man, a few words. Fine, that's cool. She turns back to Reza and Charlemagne, who are still like resuscitating on the...
Yeah, at this point, Reza's feeling a little better. Reza, what are you doing?
Well, I'm still laying there trying to warm up, and my jacket, like something's inside my jacket, is trying to pop out, and there's a muffled voice, and
Hey Reza, hey Reza, how you doing, buddy? It was pretty cold down there. Hey, boy, I'm so chilly. Do you mind taking me out a little bit? Wouldn't mind getting a little bit warm. There's so much better. Thanks.
and I hold him up to my face, and with his little green lips, he kisses the tip of my nose.
There you go, buddy. Feel a little
Yeah.
better.
And my eyes open and they clear, and I start to get my color back. It's not purple and blue anymore.
That's right.
And this
Kiss
matter,
arrows.
I rolled, and it's got 18 uses. So
Amazing.
now
Did
it's
I-
got 17.
Did I describe
So-
what this does on the stream, or did I just do it to you?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to describe real quick. This is Teddy's branch. This is an artifact that Reza received from Teddy, the New Zealand tree. That is partially alive. It's a piece of Teddy. The effect of this branch is as such. If the branch is touched to a character, he or she regains 10 points in one pool. Gains the ability to defecate fresh apples for 1d4 hours. Your armor increases by 3 for the same number of hours, and your age is increased by 10 years. So, Bob,
Oh, shit.
this little Teddy New Zealand goes,
There you go, buddy.
tell us what happens.
Quickly, kind of like in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, at the
Yeah.
end where he drank and chose unwisely, his hair grew out real fast, and fingernails like grew real long, and you can see kind of like crow's feet by my eye or in my eyes. My beard and mustache get 10 years shaggier, so it's like down to the waist.
Just so
Yeah.
good. I love it. Yeah, and you get to heal one.
Thank you, Zia, for the pointing out the one thing that I'm curious about. Did defecate?
Defecate.
And I poop apples for 4 hours.
Yeah, you're just like,
Nice.
oh, I mean, it's still choice. It's not like you can't choose to shit.
Apples are really big.
Sometimes
though.
you don't have a choice. I don't know. Maybe
The
they're
question
crab
is,
apples.
is anybody eating them?
Damn straight they are. I
Is
have
it
to do a
hungry?
shout out. Sorry, I have to do a shout out real quick to Colin Burkhart's memes. He's already done 2 so far, and they're amazing already. They're just so fucking funny. Good job, Colin.
But as Teddy's branch does that and heals me, it looks over at Miraz and like holds out. These are his little arms,
Mm-hmm.
and like he wants to be picked up by Miraz.
Oh, he so does.
Aw.
Mind if I go to you?
He goes, yeah, I don't want to go to Charlemagne because everything he touches breaks.
Yeah, I
Oh.
don't want to break. Don't need to fall apart. But that Miraz looks real squishy and warm.
Hey,
So-
man. Yeah, of course. Come on over. She picks him up,
You
tucks
pick him up.
tucks him into her body somewhere.
Oh, so you bequeath your artifact to Miraz.
Yes.
Wow.
I accept.
Nice. Very nice.
And he's, like I said, he's got 17 uses left.
Amazing.
I'm gonna get real old real fast.
Yeah, you're real old. Although I don't know if it would look different for your character.
I
So
think I might just like secrete a number of foul-smelling fluids
Nice.
as I age.
And apples. So yeah, this giant armor-clad warrior stands, his arm still extended and pointed towards the castle, and lowers it.
And that's when Charlemagne, standing there visibly frightened, says, I think he wants us to flee. I mean, go to the castle. He wants us to flee or run away. Go up and see the castle. Come on, we should definitely get
Well,
out
hold
of
on
here.
there, Charlemagne. Just take a second. Wait, this man just saved Rez's life. At the very least, I owe him an appreciative thank you.
And Charlie Rabbit steps out. Thank you, big scary silent thing. Appreciate that you. Wait, you said you came from there? Did you see the Wendigo? The large, ironclad being reaches over his shoulder and pulls out the head of a half-human, half-beast-looking creature and tosses it towards the four of you. It rolls in front of you and stops, depicting a gray-fleshed creature of perhaps human origin with sharp fangs and red eyes.
Radical, man. Up high.
But I fucking killed the Wendigo. Well, that's part of what we were trying to do. All right, well, but listen, even if he killed the Wendigo, that means, well, we gotta go slay the dragon. Which is, gonna
Is
be
that
extra-
some sort of euphemism?
No, it's there's a water dragon and oh shite. And before Charlie Rabbit can even say, the creature again reaches behind him and pulls out a large tooth, a dragon tooth, and rolls it across the ground. Well, for fuck's sake. All right, well, he didn't find the strange passageway. Everyone
I
looks
suppose
expectantly towards the
suppose-
creature.
possibly
He probably didn't get some really good sourdough bread, though, right?
He reaches
Yeah,
into his bag and pulls out a long loaf of bread and rolls it towards the three of you.
because
sake.
he certainly didn't have any of the money that the baker needed. What is it called again?
Sterling silver.
Is this not the sterling? It was
What was
another word. Another
Shillings.
word. Is that
Shillings.
he certainly didn't have any
He
shillings.
reaches into his bag and pulls out a small satchel of shillings and tosses them at your feet.
This guy's the best.
And Charlemagne then looks at the others. I bet you it didn't have any jelly pudding.
He reaches in
Jelly.
his bag and pulls out like a small, but like 1980s Jello prepackaged. Like it's very
This is-
specific nostalgia.
Red color.
This is incredible. I bet you. Okay. He certainly doesn't have a computer, and don't ask me how I know what that is.
He reaches into his bag and
Oh
pulls
my
out
god!
a very small, sort of like 1989 like computing device. You know,
Calculator.
Texas
Yeah.
Instrument.
there you go. And he tosses it over to you. There's just this pile forming between you and it.
Man.
I step up and I go, well, I bet you don't have a Bedouin stone.
He
And I
reaches
kind
into
of
his
look over
bag
at Miraz and it's
and
oh.
like goes to reach
Miraz
shakes
pulls
his
her
head.
glasses down on the end of her schnoot.
and slowly shakes his head to side.
Damn it. That was good though. That was good.
He pulls out a bleeding stone.
And he turns around and begins walking away.
All right. Well,
Ah.
I mean, castle awaits, right, guys? This is cool though. She picks up a loaf of bread and like sniffs it.
Yeah, so that's a cipher.
The bread?
Yeah, they're all ciphers.
What?
What do you mean what? You just received a ciphers. You got a jello, a loaf of bread. What else did you ask for?
A Texas instrument.
And a computer. So you got 3 of those, I guess.
That's awesome. I took the
And
bread.
then, after he's so far away, Charlemagne's like, "Hey, you don't have a toothpick, do you?" Damn it. I got the popcorn stuck in his ear.
Yeah, no. So you have those ciphers. Let me tell you what they do real quick.
Wow.
I
Let's,
want to take a real
Ciphers.
quick second to use my previous cipher that I had, the Rejuvenator, a syringe that regained 6 points to one of my stat pools because I expended a ton of speed last episode. So I'm gonna.
Well, I was gonna perform some healing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we'll let that happen. In the meantime, community, I'd like to get as many ideas as you can for bread, a Jello cup, and a calculator cipher. The rules of ciphers are they are one-use items. Please do not make them overly powerful because I will not pick yours. If we pick yours, you'll get 1 XP. Typically, it can have some sort of fun effect. I will pick ones that are fair. So think something that's going to be narrative or mechanically beneficial without being overpowered.
Cool. How much healing do you do, Alex? What does that mean?
So it's a 1d6. I have to touch the person.
Mm-hmm.
It can go to any stat pool. And it is 1 intelligence. I forget how this works, though. Did you want to use your thing anyways, or just...
I have 6 missing for my speed. I'm down to 6 from 12. So I would use it if you healing me is like at a great cost to yourself.
Okay.
Because why not? I'm not like saving it for a rainy day or anything. I want to use it. But if you can deal 1d6 points of healing, then
Okay,
that'll be
maybe
enough.
you can help me. Maybe you can help me with the rules here,
yeah,
Harlan.
totally. What is it?
Sure.
Or Joe. Healing touch, 1 intellect point. With a touch, you restore 1d6 points to 1 stat pool of any creature.
Yep.
Its ability is difficulty 2 intellect task. Each time you attempt to heal the same creature, the difficulty increases by 1 step.
Okay, so if it's difficulty 2, that'd be standard.
have-
Which means you need to roll 6 or higher, and because you have 1 intellect edge anyway, it's going to be free.
Okay, so I can just heal you for 1d6?
You just have to roll. So it's going to be, you have to roll a 6 or higher.
And I got a 14. So you roll a 1d6, and that's your... And I can just do...
Nice.
Oh, I have to
rolled a
reduce
6.
that now. Oh, beauty.
Yeah.
So I have to
Thank
reduce
you.
my pool.
No, you don't.
No, because you have an edge.
Oh, yeah,
it's
because I have an
free.
edge.
If you did
Actually,
it again
I have an
right
edge too.
now, you would have to... actually,
But I could
you
do
have-
it...
You have an edge of 2, right?
Yeah.
So you could do it again.
So I could do it to Bob right now. Are
I'm
you
good.
missing anything? You're good?
No, Teddy's branch healed me.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to do myself because my might's down to 3 from 9. Okay?
Perfect.
Sound right?
Do it.
Yeah.
With an 11. Beautiful.
Nice.
I'm just going to roll a d6 here with a 6. Look at that. Ha! Full health, both of us.
That's awesome.
Okay, who took the calculator?
Do I have to tell people?
Who took the calculator?
No. Should I be showing these? Because that just seemed way too good.
No, we
true.
believe you.
Okay.
Anyway, who took the calculator?
I'll take it.
Okay, Bob took
Whoever.
it. It is the
Perfect.
calculator of the actuary. Allows you to recalculate the risk of an action, reducing the difficulty by 1 step, and nerd glasses appear on your face that can't be removed for 8 hours. So I love that. That's
Thanks,
by Michael and
Brianna.
Brianna. Great.
Yo, that's actually brilliant. Like the way that they work the mechanic into what a calculator is used for.
Yeah, that's great.
Brilliant. Love it.
Okay, that's a great example. Lots of other ones. Let's get it that good. Some of them are fun, but it's got to have a mechanic. Listen, Alexi knows I love Alexi. There's no person alive that doesn't know I love Alexi. A Jello cup makes you the snacking envy of all those surrounding you, though. It's cool, but it's not something I'm gonna pick. It's just not. It's not unless you redefined it and said something like grants you the charm ability by snack. You know what I mean? Like if you clarified it a bit, actually, it could be pretty good. If it makes you the snacking envy of all those surround you by making you the target of any and all attacks. You know what I mean? It has to have some mechanical advantage, which actually could be pretty cool. So maybe take that. It's up to you. All right. Charlie Rabbit hops over from Reza after warming up and says, well, it seems like that fucking thing, or whatever it was, killed the Wendigo, took the dragon's tooth. But I don't understand. He bends over and picks up the tooth. This was supposed to be the pathway to the strange. And he holds it up. A pointing tooth in open jaw, past never closing, empty maw. Hanging danger, Eon's daughter, sharpened fang, spawn of water. This was the riddle. Dr. J. Bank left this as a riddle. I thought this was a solution. I figured this would open the pathway to the strange.
Well, it seems like maybe we don't quite glom the riddle just yet. We have a piece of the puzzle. We just have to solve the rest.
Maybe we need to find the pathway for where to put the open mouth. It's not even an open mouth. It is just a tooth. And actually, Charlemagne takes the tooth from you, and he goes like this. You need to put it on the
Now, hey, listen here, stupid. That's not a bad idea. Let's go into the castle and find the bones of the dragon and put the tooth back in the dragon's open maw. Maybe that'll be it. All right, let's move. And he hops to it and begins ascending the cobblestone, snow-covered stairway to the castle's front gate.
And Charlemagne shivers with his other 6 layers underneath him. And he turns to Rez and he says, are you done with my most sickest elder's lair? That I can have it back? Oh, you too pussy for that cold weather.
Right.
Have like kingly undergarments on.
Yeah, the really tight little undies.
I just take it off and throw it over his head.
Thank you. What, did you exit?
No?
Oh.
What?
I heard oops.
What did Joe say?
Can you re-invite me to the...
Oh, she did exit.
Oops.
He heard oops. He's like, I heard oops. He's like, what happened?
And she looked stressed.
She's so stressed.
Sorry, Joe just exited the stream, everybody. She's had enough of Charlemagne's ridiculousness.
No such thing. Can't have enough. Where are you, Joe? It says you're already here. There you go. You just need to...
It says you haven't left.
She's in the room. All right. So you ascend to the castle.
Yep.
You stand before the large double doors of the castle. Frozen vines cover them, sprout from the broken stone beneath your feet. Within the entrance, the floor gives way to a broken and destroyed hole in the floor, revealing the underbelly of the castle and the dungeon below. You see Charlie Rabbit peek over you and move around the corner. In the corner of this doorway, he lights a small fire, and even the dim light barely cracks against the enormity of this front hall and the dungeon below. But in the firelight, you see the skeletal remains of a massive dragon. The majority of it sits 30 feet below you, its bone tail like a ramp towards the broken floor in the dungeon below, into the under part of the castle. Its bones are covered in dust, long since forgotten. Well, we have the tooth now, so I suppose we might as well try to put it back in its open jaw.
It's like down in the hole.
Yeah, so picture this like dragon falling, breaking through a stone floor. It's like tail, you have to descend down onto it. Its rib cage sort of on top of the dungeon. It's just
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
I laugh in the face of danger.
Elephant graveyard.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Charlemagne says, I will lead the way. And he starts to very unmaneuverably climb down the
Give me a speed roll.
tail. with a 19.
Oh, you do it.
Sure.
You actually do it really well to the point where you slide, you like surf down the tailbone of the dragon. Show us. Tell
Okay,
us what
wait
happens.
though. So
Tell us.
because I want to play this into my character, I wouldn't do that. That would be Mac.
No, it was accidental. Like you
Of
stepped
course,
on
so-
it. You're
So I very awkwardly kind of start climbing down like backwards, right? Like you would climb down a ladder. And then my foot slips and I slide down and I don't get hurt. I just make it look very, very natural. And I land on the floor like this. I'm like, ah, you better all come down now and throw the tooth down. I can catch it.
All right, Reza. What are you doing?
I'll go down not quite as fast as Charlemagne.
Okay, give me a speed roll.
Also, there's xylophone sounds.
Oh yeah,
17.
nice, easy.
17.
Yeah, you head down. It's not as fancy, but you head down. Mraz.
My turn. Look out below! Natural one.
Natural one.
Get out.
Yeah, you
The
go to
surfer.
make like a real fancy thing of it, but well, I guess it's a gym intrusion. So you fall, like you're like, oh, you step and just, so you'll take damage, but you knock the tail hard enough to disrupt the skeleton, and all of a sudden, the entire skeleton of the dragon comes falling down. Reza and Charlemagne, give me a speed roll to dodge out of the way of these falling bones.
A big piece of a rib bone just clonk hits me in the head.
You're gonna take
Oh.
3 points of damage,
Sploot indeed.
and you two give me a speed roll.
16.
Success. You're
And 11.
fine. You're good. It was demanding, and you
Oh.
made it. So yeah, you both dodge out of the way of these falling bones. And you just see Miraz like pull herself off of the floor.
Very cartoonish fashion. There's like canaries flying around her head.
Bluebirds.
Bluebirds.
Oh.
Are you okay?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's gonna smart. God damn it. I like, one of the bones like skewered my shoulder. I just like pull it out and my skin closes back over.
Nice. Perfect.
Ew.
You see
that the
Charlie
whale?
hopping down the stairs, and he's, as you descend deeper to where this dragon's open maw remains, you see dripping water and ice from the lands above you melting down. The vines down here are large, gargantuan, and they break through the stone as if digging deeper into the mountain. A large stalactite sits prominently featured in the corner of the room, and Charlie pushes past you, runs to the dragon's open maw, places the tooth in. All right, here we go.
Oh, it sounds just like.
We get it. You have a small dick. And
Shut up, Kevin.
I need a louder motor. It's because I got a small dick, isn't it? That's why you think I need it. It's not. God, I hate people like that. Anyway, he sticks the tooth in, and nothing happens. Why isn't it working? A pointing tooth in open jaw, past never closing, empty maw, hanging danger, Eon's daughter, sharpened fang, spawn of water. What the fuck? And he
Wait, spot of water?
spawn of water. I posted it in the chat. He sits down in the corner.
Who is Eon's daughter?
I think we have to get water off one of the stalactites.
What do you mean,
Sharpened
stalactite?
fang, spawn of water. What is the child of water? And who is Eon's daughter? And how can I say it louder? And
I look around. Is there like a small body of water, like a little pond or puddle or something down here?
Yeah, it's directly under the stalactite.
I'm going to go look in and see if there's any fish or any kind of life in it.
You walk over to this stalactite, and it appears rather large, bizarrely so, and you look down towards the pond. It's very wide but shallow, and there seems to be a glimmer coming from it.
This
Nah.
is it. That's
You
the
know
pointing
what?
tooth.
That is. Continue. I don't want to steal your thunder. It is.
I'm just going to go for it, and I just wade in and
Yeah, you
Reach
wade
in.
in, and immediately you feel a weightlessness to your legs as you come up to like the waist. Quickly, you jump out nervously. There's this numbing feeling on your legs, and Charlie Rabbit shoots his eyes toward you. What? Well, what just happened?
And that's when Charlemagne points up and he says, "The cavern is the open jaw. And that hanging thing, that is the hanging danger, the sharpened fang, that is it. I don't know Ian's daughter, but that is water.
Charlie,
Making water."
Charlie hops over and kneels down next to the glimmering pool and sticks his head right in and sticks it back up. You're gonna fucking want to see this.
Miraz like wobbles over excitedly. She's like, "This is incredible. I can smell something. I smell something so tantalizing and distant. And this is incredible." And she just wades in.
Yeah, and immediately, Miraz, you are looking into this unfathomable void of swirling sounds and smells and these
I'm picturing like
clandestine
fractals.
Yeah, fractals spinning, all violet and blue and green, and you pop back up to like this cavern a moment later. Ladies and gentlemen, we found the fucking strange! And Charlie Rabbit starts hopping around. Bob, I'm going to give you an XP for solving that riddle so quickly.
Nicely
Well done.
done.
It's a fun little nonsense riddle, but also I'm running with Lucas's idea. He didn't say it specifically, but I like this. The Jell-O cup, if you drink it, it is going to turn you into a basically any shape amorphous blob. So you can like squeeze under doors or through keyholes. Yeah, he said something like that, and it made me think of it. He said, user is able to become the consistency of Jell-O and has resistance to damage by blades and bludgeoning weapons. Movement is limited. So he had I like the consistency of Jell-O, but rather than the resistance to damage, because that might not happen, it's just going to turn you into like T-1000, you know, where you can like go into whatever shape you want. So I don't know who got the Jell-O cup, but we just still need the bread. There's some good ones, but there's got to be a... Now, I'm thinking also sourdough has like sour capabilities. It also can be very stale and hard as like a fucking rock. So if you like think outside the box in terms of like...
Think outside the bun.
Think outside the baguette. Perfect. But yeah.
I was gonna say, if it was like sourdough, like you were saying, they can make whoever has it, eats it, can make them like an ass or something like that for
A
one
sour
big fry.
person.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. I like the real out there ones. So keep thinking. Great ideas, by the way. But I'll give that a second XP to Lucas. First one went to Brianna and Michael. Second one will go to Lucas. So yeah, you're standing around the pathway to the strange. Charlie looks towards you. All right. Now, does anybody know how to fucking surf this thing?
Surf? I mean, yeah. I think I can hang 10.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah, I can do this.
Right, now listen here. Surfing is not an easy thing to do. It's a difficult task. It's a difficult task, yes. Which means you'll need a 12 or higher.
Well, I'm trained.
That'll lower the difficulty by 1 to make it a demanding task, 9 or higher.
Now, what are you trained in?
Fractal surfing.
Fractal surfing.
Yep.
Wow.
Now, on me, I've had a deal called translation, and I can participate in the process of traveling to another recursion. And each time I do, I can choose to initiate, hasten, or ease a transition or translation. Does that have anything to do with what we're doing here?
Yeah, we'll call that lowering another tier. You can ease it another tier. Normally, by just assisting, you can't do anything because you guys are like passengers. But because you actually have that, we'll lower another tier, which makes it a standard. 6 or higher.
Are you a paradox, Bob?
No, I'm a vector.
You're a vector. Okay, so that's interesting because I'm also not trained, but I am knowledgeable in translation and initiative.
Miraz like hunkers down and she's like, now you gotta really lower your weight here. You need to make sure that you drop your weight between your legs. You just gotta get real jelly with it.
And you see like Charlie Rabbit try to beat Borp's like zzz,
a little more booty there, Rabbit.
and
A little
the
more
rabbit's
booty out.
like this.
Yeah.
Need to make my booty shake.
And she just kind of like Zoidberg-esque like whoop, 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 crab walks into the pool.
All right, everyone, hold on. And Charlie Rabbit grabs one of your tailables,
My flanges.
your flangy, and everyone grabs on. You ready?
Yeah, let's whip it.
You are thrust forward through the glistening wall into the violet void. Oh, Alex is doing something. Yes. You are thrust forward through the glistening wall into a violet void. The size is immense and immeasurable. The twirling, whirring clouds of purple waves surround you in the space-like vicinity that exists everywhere around you. This is the strange. Hold on to your butts, Charlie screams as you glide towards a vortex of purple waves and attempt to surf. Give us a roll.
All right, here we go. It's an intellect roll?
It is a, sure. I don't actually know.
Okay.
Probably speed, but we can call it.
19.
Yes. So not only do you succeed at surfing for a little bit, you get a minor benefit.
I reach
Way to
out
go.
my arm and touch the top of this like curl of fractal as it spirals out purple and gold, and as my phalanges touch this, the edge of infinity, it just like cascades in pixels everywhere, like teal and silver, and inside of each of the pixels you can see alternate realities just spawning away as if you're looking into an infinity mirror.
Oh my god, yeah. And it's pixels, like you can touch them, and as you do it, it's like that, it's like a dial-up sound, like
Yeah.
like it's very
I imagine seeing Paisleys too. You know?
yeah, lots of paisleys.
Yep.
Yeah, and you're surfing. Charlie Rabbit is yelling, sort of being like, all right, now, we're not going to be able to get straight to bed when it's too far away, of course, but we're going to need to find a place to get to that will allow us to translate directly there so we don't have to surf. Look around for anything. So you see, like, distant planes, sort of like waves, just cuts in the wall. This one looks sort of like one that's maybe 100 feet away. You sort of see this green tree and these large maggot-esque creatures clinging to it and just devouring the tree. You see another one that looks all sandy and dead. Large sandworms are jumping and spinning, and you see sort of dust storms blowing across them. Why don't you give me an intellect roll?
Me again?
Yeah, you're trying to find like a place home, right?
Yeah, trying to find a likely spot. Somewhere that would be close to Bedouin, I guess.
Yeah.
19 again.
Nice. Yeah, okay. You see a fractal opening, maybe 300 feet away. And emanating from it, because you have the ability to sense something.
Yeah, I can sense something strange. I can sense creatures of an alternate recursion, creatures of the strange ciphers related phenomenon in active situations where their presence is not obvious.
There's another thing. Maybe it's Alex. Alex, you can sense translation tears or something?
It's basically the same as what Bob has, except as a paradox, I'm better at initiating it. But I can participate and hasten the process of translation.
I thought there was someone that you could tell where a strange tear came. But I guess this is sort of what you're talking about, Joe. So, okay. So, yeah, you get the feeling, this sort of like essence emanating from this. It's a bit far. 300 feet when you're surfing across basically space is pretty far, but you get this powerful gas emanating from this world. It seems very strong here.
I'm holding the hand of Charlie Rabbit, who's
Yeah.
holding the hand of Bleep Blorp, who's holding the hand of Charlemagne, who's holding the hand of Reza. I've got this like chain of beings behind me, and as I look back at the line of them, everyone's faces are distorting like Picasso paintings. And my like little face, my nose fingers just catch this smell on the digital breeze of something interesting, and I see an opening, like you say, 300 feet away, and I want to like get really small and then get really big again. Do you know what I mean? To like catch
the speed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we like get teeny and get really big.
Yeah.
And we scoot forward, and just as the recursion is closing.
Sorry, no, you're not going to get there yet. I just
no.
wanted to get that you were going towards.
Yeah, we go.
Perfect.
We go towards it.
Yep. Give me another speed roll.
Okay. A speed roll.
I picture it as if we're going like underneath the magnifying glass really quickly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
you kinda
the
like
300 feet turns into 300 microns, and we're like
Exactly.
everything
Yeah.
is like accordioning. It's not just us. It's like
For sure.
the whole reality. 13.
I don't feel
Perfect.
very good.
As you are coasting towards us, you're now about 200 feet away. I'm going to roll over your 19 from before. You get that same sense of power off to your left, but it is immense. It feels like artifact level power. It seems to just be floating in this blackness of this violet of the void. But only maybe 50 feet off to your left, you feel like you might be able to capture. And as you sort of look around, you notice these fractal waves. As you get close to them, you sort of you kind of burst through one, it kind of pops to your face, and there's a little world for a second. You're like an ant, it's just like a second. You see from the perspective of an ant about to be squished, and it passes. And, another little fractal wave washes over you, Reza, and you're a fish being caught in an ocean, and it just passes. And you recognize that each of these little sort of waves that sometimes you bop into are worlds of their own, lives that exist momentarily. And you get the feeling that some of them are big or small. And just over here, you feel an immense artifact of power.
I do.
No, sorry, Joe does.
Oh,
This was
okay.
her 19 from before. I just wanted to describe how these little worlds feel. Also, in the meantime, I'm gonna say what the bread is. It's going to be the bread of it was this one, Lucas's gluten-free bread. Immediately crumbles any wall or structure that it touches. So you bang the bread destroyed, the wall destroyed, like a perfect outline. I think that's fun. It's like a delete key, it's like boop.
Perfect.
Okay.
So let me get this straight. Ahead of me still is this reality that I'm sniffing.
Yes. So you travel about 100 feet per roll.
But then also just off to the side and closer is this powerful artifact.
Yes, it is not a fractal. It's not a recursion, but it is something that you feel like you could probably scoop up on your way.
I want to try to continue heading toward the reality that I'm interested in, while also putting a spin on the people behind me in line, such that Reza could like curl around and grab it on our way by.
Okay, cool.
Like a whip.
Yeah, I want to
Like a
whip
whip.
it.
Sure. That's going to be a bit tough.
Okay.
We'll call that
Good.
demanding.
Yeah, I'll expend effort.
Oh, perfect. So that'll lower it to a standard again.
Can I also lower it once because I am trained in fractal surfing / actual
We're already
surfing?
so it's 12 that we're lowering to 9 for fractal surfing. Now we're lowering to 6 because you're spending effort.
Amazing. Okay. And this is speed, you said?
Correct.
Cool. 4.
Ooh. So you do get a spin on it, but it's not quite enough. Reza, you're at the end, and do you say something to Reza? What's your?
Yeah, I'm like, Reza, eyes to my 9 or whatever, that thing that you say. I'm like trying to do the police lingo, but I'm not really don't really have any context for it.
and I don't really hear with my ears. It's more in my head since we're surfing in this, and it's 1,000 different languages, but I can understand each one of them, and I pick out the English one.
Yeah,
On top of all these other thousands of languages.
that's cool.
And
It's all being spoken by different voices.
Yeah, and I look over and I see I don't know what it is, but I just get the feeling that I need to get that.
Okay. Also, I'm going to give an XP to Joe for that amazing description of the strange, and an XP to Reza for that really clever interpretation of languages. So 1 XP each again.
Thank you.
Way to go, guys.
Very cool. Very visual. I can very picture that. It's very neat. Yeah, you spin around Reza and try to reach out to this sort of artifact that you feel. Give me a roll, Reza. It'll be a speed roll.
That was a 20.
Nice. Yes.
OMG.
You reach out and you go to feel for something. You're going to get a major effect.
You want me to describe it?
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of what the major effect would be. This is, I'm going to call it maybe awareness. This is a trap. You go to reach for this object and you can't quite see what you're reaching for, but you notice that within this void, the fractal patterns and the blackness sort of cut off before you. It's just generic black. And as you're reaching for it, you suddenly get the realization that you're actually reaching for something that may be there, but is obfuscated by something. And very quickly you realize that almost cloaked is a massive object floating in the darkness of space.
Oh, that's so scary. It's like you're seeing the prize, you're seeing the prize,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you see the bear trap around the prize.
Exactly. And you recognize this with your major effect, and I'm going to give you basically the opportunity to not grab the object and not be snared. So rather than just it getting you, you pull your hand back at the last second, to maybe everyone's confusion, as this massive object sort of shimmers out of existence, and you see the silvery clad sides of a ship. It's this large, rusted ship that looks covered in like flashing lights and things that all sort of come into vision very quickly. It's dark with jagged spikes and points on it, chains almost. It has a very bizarre view, and the minute you pull back and see it, you see the large letters Osiris written on the side of the ship, and the thrum of the engine as it begins firing and moving towards you.
Do we bump into it? Like bonk?
Yeah, I think Reza bumped, it's definitely the tail end is like boom, boom. Miraz is at the front of it a little bit, but you see it. You all see this ship immediately.
Oh my god, I cannot even comprehend what is going on here, let alone.
Miraz, give me a speed roll.
Okay.
This is going to be challenging. Your thing is going to lower it down to 12. So at this point, Reza's benefit to you is a bit distracted. So you're going to be doing a 12. You can still lower it as many times as you like.
I'm going to lower it once.
Okay.
With 1 effort.
Be a 9.
Here we go. It's a 7.
Okay. This ship begins to fire. And while Reza sort of is reacted, he's not pulled by this. And you kind of see this trap now, Reza. It's this extended arm. And inside you see this just like glowing dot. It just closes and pulls back. And the ship is turning towards you, Miraz. And as it does, you see this open maw of the front of the ship just begin to envelop all of you. Everybody make a speed roll.
Every time you say that, I just want to like roll my dice really fast. Like a speed
12?
roll. Speed round.
Okay.
I got a 12.
12.
And a 15! Boom!
Nice. And somebody roll for Charlie Rabbit and Beat Borp.
I'll roll
I
for
got
Charlie.
Okay. I'll roll for Beat Borp.
I won't roll.
9.
14.
Nice. So everyone but who'd you roll for?
Charlie.
Everyone but Charlie Rabbit begins to sort of like like back away in this void. Miraz obviously has full sort of cognition over it, and she helps everybody, which I sort of incorporated everybody's tier being lowered by 1 because of her helping. Jesus, Lucas's gift just freaked me out. Someone putting their hand in a bear trap. But you see Charlie Rabbit sort of lose hands, and he begins like floating into the maw of the ship. Don't let him fucking take me! And he begins floating away. And as
Charlie,
he gets beyond your reach, you
no!
see him sort of just whoomp, disappear into the maw of this ship.
Oh, fuck.
What do you do? You see the recursion maybe 150 feet away. You see the maw of the ship enclosing. It's about 20 feet away. Miraz, you still have control of this party. You've just lost Charlie.
Do you guys want to go after Charlie or after the recursion?
You have no time to decide or ask.
Recursion. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I think like bye NPC. I go.
Yeah, he's just trying to get off the rock,
Yeah.
right?
He's elsewhere.
He's got off the rock.
I reach into my body for the.
Ooh.
What is that?
Flip for it.
Oh.
Flip for it. Flip for it.
Is that a pog?
Aquaman's heads.
Ooh, fight for justice.
I seriously thought that was a pog. I was like, wow.
And it's Black Manta. So
Oh, man!
So which was that?
You just said which
Not
one was
Charlie
heads.
Rabbit.
Oh, okay.
It's not Charlie Rabbit?
Charlie Rabbit.
Save Charlie Rabbit.
No.
Oh, fuck Charlie Rabbit.
Fuck you, Charlie Rabbit.
All right. Fuck Charlie
Charlie
Rabbit.
Rabbit.
Miraz goes into her secret crevasse in her torso and pulls out the tree branch and whips it behind her to Beat Borp to grab onto.
Oh, okay.
And because Charlie Rabbit was holding my hand and Bleep Blorp was holding Charlie's hand.
That's right. So do another roll for Beat Borp.
What?
Because Beat Borp's got to grab that fucking branch.
Hold on.
He's
Hold
like
on.
the worst. Reza, give me another roll. For Beat Borp.
3.
Oh, no.
I just hit him in the face with it.
You literally like knock him and you see the metal begin to rust as he ages 10 years.
No.
And Beat Borp just starts like falling. He's like, goodbye. And he goes into the maw of the ship, just disappears.
God damn it.
Who is holding Beat Borp's hand? Charlemagne. Charlemagne, give me a roll to see if you can grab Miraz's hand.
11?
No, you don't. But you're not like sucked into it. You're like, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Miraz, you kind of have this moment where you could cut and run potentially. So Miraz, you have fractal surfing.
Mm-hmm.
These guys have missed sort of the opportunity to grab your hand. There's about 5 feet behind. You see the recursion 150 feet off. You now see 5 feet of distance between Reza and Charlemagne. What do you do?
Now, does that distance get
It's getting
farther?
bigger slowly and slowly. Yes, yeah.
We're still like our momentum is going forward towards
But neither of these
this
can fractal
recursion.
surf, right? So
But it's
what
like
happened
the Big
was,
Bang. We're constantly moving apart.
well, that's what I mean.
constantly
Like
spreading.
this chain whipped. Reza hit the side of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
We're sort of on the front end of the ship, so you were sort of in a bit of a V or a U that was quickly forming. You kept going forward, but as these guys were sort of bumping along the side of it, you know, their momentum was split
Yeah,
because
and then
Charlie
the chain was severed.
Exactly, Charlie got severed. So you had a chance because I put it this way: I gave you the definite go because you used the branch to grab Beat Borp, which was really clever. But when that failed, that just severed that bigger. It's not saying you couldn't get them, but you kind of have a pretty clear decision now that you could. bolt.
These are my only people in the whole galaxy right now that know where I am and that even give a shit about me a little bit. So I'm definitely going to try to go back and get them. I spin like a starfish in the surf and then use all of my limbs to scoot backward like a squid back through all these realities. I experience like the bubbles in a glass of champagne and like an inchworm on a branch as I like back crawl toward my
Birth of a
So-
child.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
So I'm going to describe this because This is something that you have sort of a clear path out, for lack of a better term. This ship is definitely moving towards the two of them. But you're hoping to use a burst of speed to go back, grab them, and pull them to recursion. That is not impossible, but it is a heroic deed, which is a 24. Now, you can lower it as many times as you'd like with effort. I think you could probably lower it 2 times, so you can make it an 18. But this is going to be something that is, because it's heroic to try to go back, capture these 2 characters, and pull them towards this recursion. So give us a roll for all the beans. And
remind me about re-rolling. I can spend 1 XP to re-roll any roll.
Correct. So I'm going to say this. It is a heroic deed. You are trained in fractal surfing, which lowers it to formidable. That means you need a 21 to succeed. So you can lower it as many times as your effort in speed.
I only have 1 effort.
So you can lower it once to 18 for 3 points. And then you can spend an XP to re-roll that.
Okay.
Could I use the calculator to...
No, because I don't think you realize she's come back for you yet. I think you're like, wait a minute. She's like,
Actually, when I hit the side of the ship, I'm like in a spin.
Yeah.
So me and Charlemagne are just like spinning like that.
Alternatively, you can just fail the roll too. You don't have to spend XP if you don't want to.
Yeah, I know. Here we go. I'm rolling 11.
Ooh.
So I'm going to spend an XP and re-roll this.
All right.
Oh.
6. I fail.
Oh, that hissing too. Yeah, no. For a second, you see Miraz sort of scoot farther away. And then using that sort of fluidity of her body, she shoots herself towards the 2 of you. And it's very clear in this moment, and while it might not be a success to get you guys out of the recursion, it is a success for your friendship, because you see, without a doubt, that Miraz is coming back for you. I mean, Charlie definitely saw you guys still try to go. So he's like, ah!
I need my brain!
As you scoot back, you bump into Reza and Charlemagne and send all 3 of you tumbling into the open maw of this ship. Now, this would be a great place to end, but I want to keep going because, we don't get to do enough Strange, and I want to keep playing. We're going to end soon.
Does Joe work tonight?
She does work tonight, so we're gonna do a little bit more because I'm excited. Should we do a little bit more? Let's do a little bit more.
Yeah, give it up. Give it up. I love how you egg on the fake crowd.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Jessica offered to give XP to help Joe. I'm gonna say you used hers, so you still have your XP.
Thanks, Jessica.
That way, because XP is also experience points to level up in this game, which is really important. So I'm gonna say thank you, Jessica, so much to let her try that.
So true.
The 3 of you bump onto the hard metal floor of a dimly lit ship bay. You feel the fractals disappear as the bay to this door from the void closes. You hear the engines roaring beneath you as the 3 of you sort of look up towards Charlie and Beep Borp, who are getting themselves to their feet. Oh, what the fuck happened? I didn't even see what happened. I didn't see that ship come from anywhere. What happened? And he turns to you, Reza.
I'm glad we found you, Charlie. We came back for you.
give me a intellect roll. See if he buys that.
Now, for my operates undercover,
yeah,
I can. If I want him to believe it, I get a bonus for that.
Nice.
That's amazing. Cool. Okay. So it's going to be it's going to be difficult. So it's going to go to demanding, 9 or higher.
Okay. Oh. Looks like you get a GM intrusion.
Oh, a 1?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Woof.
Yeah. So not only does Charlie Rabbit, not only does he not believe you, he's like, if I ever get the chance, I'm gonna fuck you over. No, that's so mean of Charlie. I
That's
like
so
Charlie.
mean.
Yeah. I think he doesn't believe you. What the hell would be a good intrusion?
Someone hears Reza trying to persuade.
Yeah.
Someone hears.
I mean, like Reza's act of trying to persuade Charlie Rabbit draws attention.
When I tell him that, I turn to the other two and I'm like,
Yeah, I don't know yet. I'll say that intrusion for me in a second. People already know you're here. They like scooped you up, so that's not going to be
Maybe
too.
Bleep Blorp also
Well,
knows.
Why doesn't Charlie just?
Yeah,
Why
Bleep
isn't
Blorp's
Charlie
sad
just?
at us. That's the whole intrusion. Sad
It's
now.
just sad.
Yeah. Pull a parent. Just he's disappointed.
Mhm.
You know what? I'm going to use this as interaction. Normally, this would have played out a little bit more, but we'll do it this way because I'm going to say somebody arrives on the scene and forbids the NPC from interacting further, which is the way to do it. Immediately, you hear the footsteps and seemingly like the underscore of a movie. Brum, boom, 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 brum, boom, as like a bunch of like really aggressive feet walk towards you. And from the dimly lit back of this cargo hold, you see the outline. It's like flashing. Brum, boom, 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 as 9 figures all enter the dim red light of the bay. Each of them have cutlasses. There's like a robotic fucking parrot on one shoulder. It's like, and they're all like, like agitating, like ready for a fight, like standing forward, standing back a little bit. And then the crowd parts and you see a man in a large captain hat tilted to one side walk forward. They all look scruffy and dirty. And he's like, "Avast ye, mateys! Looks like we caught ourselves a bit of fun!" And the whole pirate crowd goes wild. "Arr, arr." The man walks up to you. You see he's got a metal peg leg. Dunkung, dunkung, dunkung. "Aye, you landed upon the Osiris. Me name be Captain Spaulding, and ye are in for a dead of a time. Yar!" All the pirates shout out, "Oh!" And they all begin to crowd around you. "Now, which one of ye first shall walk ye plank?" And he's going to pull Reza out from the others. This is your intrusion. Yar! And they all sort of pull, and Reza, you get disappeared into the crowd, whereas Charlie, Miraz, Charlemagne, and Beatborp are all still surrounded by these pirates. "Yee! Take him to the brig to be questioned first. Yar!" And you get dragged off. The 4 of you are surrounded by this sea of pirates. "Yar! So, what brings you here amongst me crew? Why are you trying to sail alone in the void? Yar!" Captain Spaulding says.
Do you know Damien Awesome Cool?
"Yar?" He looks towards this like well-kempt pirate with small glasses. And he looks down at a notepad and shakes his head. "Nar! I don't know Damien Awesome Cool. Who are ye?"
Perhaps you have heard of me. I am King Charlemagne.
"Yar?" And he turns to the other guy, and the guy's like, "No, King Charlemagne." "Nar! I don't know neither of you."
You have never heard of King Charlemagne. What kind of world is this? My worst nightmare. Listen, we are traveling across the galaxy, trying to find a silly little stone. This is so stupid. And Charlemagne starts to really freak out. He starts to cry and lose it and just like breaks down like a fucking child. Okay?
"Yar!
I don't like home. Where's my pass? I want my warm pass, and I want my fresh bread and all that shillings.
He's having kind of a hard day.
Oh, yar, I've been there. Harold, stab him!" And a man steps forward and stabs you.
Oh yeah, that works. Okay, I'll shut up now. Okay.
I've been there. Stab him.
You're like very, very casually too. Like he's just like, "All right," and it just goes right into you for a second, and you take 2 damage. Just because. Yar. Well,
Ye are on the Osiris, and me is Captain Spaulding, and ye are,
And he turns to the men next to him. Captain Spaulding has a spot on his ship, and one of you will have to fight for it. Who amongst you would like to fight for a spot on Captain Spaulding's ship?
I look at Charlie Rabbit and Bleep Blorp.
Charlie Rabbit's like, no, listen here. It may seem like you only have one person, one spot needed, but really we all are one person.
That's right. So here's the story, just kind of in like a nutshell, in a clamshell.
yar.
We are on a mission of revenge against the people who wronged us, as a collective, being that we are one person charged with one crime.
Yar.
We're all named, we all have the same name. Miraz Brej Ak Ak.
Yar.
So what she is saying, if I could be so bold as to say something, yeah, without being stabbed. And he shifty eyes look around.
Stop bleeding on me, Dick, and I won't stab you again.
Okay. Is that we are all one person, or at least mistaken for one person, and so we should be treated as one person. And let us stay on this ship. We are looking for the treasure, and we don't know where to go.
Yar.
And he turns to his man,
Ponce?
and Ponce looks up to him and says, well, if they agree to share one bed, one meal, one footlocker, one bathroom break, if they want to be treated as one, then I don't see why 4 people couldn't do 4 times the work.
Our lawyer, Mr. Bleep Blorp, will need to speak with your captive as well.
Yar.
Beep Borp's like, hello, I am Beep Borp, a representative of this person. Yes, I think it's most fair if we all act as one and share in one part of the food and one part of the crew. 4 for the price of 1.
Yar. Well, spots on this crew are earned in a fight to the death. So, fair enough. Still, one of ye needs to fight for all of ye, and if one of ye wins, you've earned a part on the crew. Yar?
And all the pirates are like,
Yar! Yar! So, which one of yez will fight?
Charlie's like, that's not going to be me. Beep Borp's like,
I mean, it has to be the one who you've brought to the brig.
Yar?
Reza is the muscle of our body.
Yar.
I do not even have a weapon. I'm sorry.
And I just kind of poke my body, and like a bubble erupts from inside of me.
Yar. Well, fair enough. You get thrown in the brig too. Tonight, fight to the death! Yar!
and everyone's is happy and surprised and gets dragged away. You get pulled into a small chamber. A series of cages line the walls, and the 3 of you get tossed into one cage. There's no sign of Reza anywhere that you can see. The 3 of you are tossed into a cage. Sitting next to you in another cage, you see a man. He's sort of leaning against the wall. So, fighting to the death tonight, eh?
You.
Well, let's just say I been where you've been in more ways than one.
You couldn't possibly know where we've been.
Oh, I know where you've been. I floated upon this ship by accident as well. Not too long ago.
And of course, you were thrown onto an ice planet by fucking awesome cool.
No, but I was on an ice planet. I got off. Name's Brandy Jack. I came across this here ship by accident. Went to grab a very powerful artifact, and it snatched me up. Luckily, I've been able to talk myself out of any major fight. through various means that I don't want to share.
Brandy
you are-
Jack.
Yes.
Rings no bell. Sorry.
Well, you wouldn't
Never
know me
heard
very
of you.
well. It's not a very common situation that we find ourselves in. But look, I have some advice for you tonight, and a plan, if you guys want. In.
Well, I'm not opposed to a plan, of course. We've come with one other person. He is in a different part of the ship. And in fact, if I could just convey everything to you right now in one short sentence, we are looking for the Bedouin stone. And so if you help us escape and help us find the Bedouin stone, we'll make you rich beyond your greatest dreams.
What?
Shh, 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 shh.
Reza, you find yourself standing on the bridge of this ship. You see the fractal curves of the violet sunrise in the strange. As the captain walks in, the man behind you sticks a dagger in your back and tells you to kneel.
Yar. So you be one of the people that is of 4 people that wants to fight tonight, yar?
And I look at him with a puzzled look on my face. It's like I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, tonight you're fighting for your life. Unless you can think of any other reason. See, when I bring on multiple people, typically one rats the other one out. I have one in the holding cell right now, Brandy Jack. Ratted on some of his friends, got himself out of here. What's your excuse? Do you have any information that might be of use?
I just kind of look at him and my eyes kind of narrow. It's like, what kind of information are you looking for?
Yar, I don't know. Anything you might want to share with my... People tend to have strange objects in the strange, powerful things. Not many people can surf.
And I definitely can't surf.
Yar.
And I do look down and I still have the ring. And I take it off and I said, I've got this. I got this from Damien Awesome Cool. So do you know him?
No, I don't know who that is. You've mentioned it a few times. I don't know this man. Arr.
And he walks over and he opens a bottle and he takes it.
Sorry. The Yars come back if I don't take my pears. Listen, what's your name?
It's Reza.
Reza, you look like a strong bloke. What have I said? You don't have to fight tonight. What if I said your friends can fight and you can join me crew outright, Yar?
I kind of look at it. I get up in his face and I say, no, I'm not gonna betray my friends.
Yar. Well, then you'll fight tonight. Ponce!
And Ponce walks over. 2 men from the corners grab each of your arms. And Ponce says, sorry about this. And he sticks you with something. And you feel drained. Your strength has been halved. So your maximum strength is now, what was it, 12?
15.
15? So now it's, let's say 7. That's your maximum strength. You've been, think of it as cursed.
That's not fair.
It's not fair. He sticks it in your side.
Actually, my endurance, it's going to pop it up to an 8.
Oh. We'll call it an 8 then. You know what? Let's call this fair. This is an intrusion. This was the intrusion from before that I've kind of carried over, but I'm going to offer it to you to be fair. No, you know what? I'm going to do it, and I'm going to give you an XP, and you can give XP to somebody else because it's part of the story now. So you get an XP for this. Who would you like to give an XP for? 2.
I give it to Charlemagne.
Lovely.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Charlemagne.
Your endurance is now 8 for the next 24 hours.
Fair enough. Good luck tonight. You'll need it. Ponce, what's for dinner?
Chili,
Chili, yar!
and he pulls you away. And moments later, you're burst through the wooden doors of the brig and tossed into the cell next to your friends. Brandy Jack sits against the wall. Ah, so this must be your other friend. Well, I was going to give them a bit of advice for tonight, but I don't think we need it based on that blood leaking down from your sternum. You got LoJack, didn't you?
I did. And I'm having trouble getting up off the floor. My arms are weak and shaky. But I finally managed to to go to my back and kind of sit up against one of the cages.
Look, guys, I got a plan. This ship, I have spent many days, maybe longer, scouting it mentally with my mind, asking people when they come in and out. I think I have a pretty good understanding of the layout here. I want to take it. I think we can do it.
Mutiny. Nice.
More than just mutiny, killing everybody.
Yeah, even better.
This sounds like a jailbreak, but ow!
Well, see, that's the beauty of it. It's simple. That whole bay that you came in on, it opens. And that's where the fights are
It's an
held.
indoor and an outdoor.
No, it's just an indoor. The void it's not space. It doesn't suck you out. All we have to do is get everybody on that platform and find a way to push them all out at once. And I know how.
And we stay on the ship.
Well, I mean, there's going to be friendly fire, of course. I need to stay on the ship. That's the important thing. But beyond that, yes, that's the plan. What do you guys think?
So we are going to the platform area anyway
Exactly.
for the fight. And you suggest we open the door and just push the entire pirate crew out the door and they go bye-bye into oblivion. Goodbye.
Well,
Ciao.
mm,
C'est la
not-
vie.
yeah, it's not oblivion. See, the strange is its own thing. It doesn't have the same pressure as what I'm assuming you're thinking
Okay.
of space. So
I
it's not
see.
like they're going to suck out and we can't push them out. But there are
I've never
things.
been to space. I have no understanding of what you're talking about. But
Look, there are things in the strange that will eat anything. There are big giant
I
worms.
am with you. I agree. We must take this ship for ours. For ours.
Right. Well,
Do you
mine.
understand what I'm saying? For ours.
Yeah. Here's what we need to do. We need to get to the bridge and we need to navigate to somewhere very specific, somewhere that is going to have these creatures that will want to eat things that fall off the ship. That's a really important part of this plan. Then when the fight commences tonight, I need to be with you so that I can sneak out and throw the switch. At that point, the rest is just going to happen on its own, I'm sure.
It sounds like a cool and groovy plan. How are we supposed to make sure that the ship swims where it needs to go in the strange? We're here in this. Oh. And she pulls a loaf of bread out of her pouch. She's like, this could get interesting. I
And,
can break us out of here.
and
I always love when
I tell her to hold that thought for a second, that I've got an idea. And I'm thinking back on my conversation with the captain. And I tell everybody, it's like, I need a diversion. We need to start screaming and yelling at each other. And I'm going to go over and I'm going to start pounding on the door, demanding to see the captain, because he offered me a position on the boat to screw you guys over. So if I say I change my mind, and he said I'd become part of his crew, I get to the bridge, and maybe I can do something from there.
Well, here, you need this. And he reaches into his pocket, Brandy Jack, and he reaches through the bars and he hands you a small little navigating chip. All you need to do is put this under the comm. That's going to do everything we need to do navigation-wise. You're not the first people that I've teamed up with, but you are the most recent and the ones who will help me get control of the ship for the first time, final time, again. It's going to work.
but why should we help you?
Don't think of it as helping me. Think of it as helping yourselves. If I can control this ship, I can drop you wherever you need to go. Where do you need to go?
And what assurance do we have that you're going to go and be good with your word and do what you say you're going to do?
You have...
Taking a long pause. It must
I'm
be
just thinking.
very
You have...
honest,
my word.
sincere.
Can I
Pardon me?
roll
Yeah, what?
to see if he's being truthful?
Of course.
Natural one.
Yeah. This man is the most charming man you've ever met. And he feels like a natural born leader.
It up.
I blush.
You paused for too long, and now you fucked it up.
And he's like, well, then, tonight,
Yeah, I can
take back the ship.
Oh, fuck.
What? What's
High
so
fives.
fucked?
High fives all around.
What did he say?
You can't hear us.
Why can't you hear us?
Well, now I can. You paused, and then my internet must have delayed, so it was like this super
Oh, no,
long pause.
No, I held a long pause. I held a
No,
super
I know.
long pause. It was
But then
super
when
long.
you said something, you guys started talking, and I couldn't hear anything anymore.
Brandy Jack looks at you and he says, tonight, we take back the ship. And we're going to end there.
Okay.
Yay!
Ladies and gentlemen,
And
this
that-
was The Strange Beyond Chapter 5. What do you got to say, Alex?
I was going to say, and that clapping is sort of similar to the sounds that we still start making in the cell.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy ship-filled hijinks. I love the idea with the bread. I want you guys to think of a really good plan. This is a brief outline. If you think of a better one, let's do it.
All I know is I really want Bleep Blorp to be the one that's like, help us, to try to
Perfect,
bring
done.
people, because
We'll do
I
that.
think that's going to be really cute.
Help
to-
us! Ouch! He like pulls out all of his wires.
Yeah,
I've
it's
been
like,
stabbed.
I'm sick. I need the guard. Here.
Well done. Great turn of events, but you ended up on this pirate ship instead of the recursion. And that's exciting. Really fun place to be. Lots of crazy characters from the past, including Captain Spaulding and Brandy Jack. Well done, guys. Great episode.
Good job, you.
We'll be back next week
And stay-
with another episode. What's that, Alex?
The same to you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, great leader of our stream.
Great and powerful wizard of
Don't
stream.
put yourself down.
No, I'm
The
not.
mastermind
Ladies and gentlemen,
behind this.
if you are enjoying this, make sure you check out Dice Shame, make sure you check out Malevolent, and make sure that you consider supporting us on Patreon. Also, new Dice Shame episode tomorrow, and MVP this week has to go to Colin. His memes were legendary,
Creme de la creme.
as usual, but so funny.
Meme de la meme.
I want to keep encouraging him to do it, so I have to keep giving him MVP. If other people make memes while we're playing, you're going to get MVP too. So memes are really the way to go now.
My favorite one is Charlemagne watching Reza freeze while wearing his coat, and it's Squidward. It's
Yeah.
very good.
My favorite is
And-
the fucking, he's just standing there menacing me. Because I've seen that episode of SpongeBob. It's fucking hilarious.
And I just wanted to say, because I couldn't catch it at first, it is in that Invictus memes.
Yeah. That's what I
Yeah,
said.
make sure you join the Discord if you're watching this on YouTube.
Yeah. Most people
You can
have
get
it
in
now.
all little tidbits.
Little tidbit.
Inviting new people.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful night. Big thank you to Joe. She works tonight. Again, thanks for working the hospital, love, essential services and all that,
You're welcome.
saving our lives. And ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next week. As my brother Alex always likes to say,
I always like to say, good night.
Good night.